Your first written assignment for this class is going to be an evaluative essay. And when I say evaluative, and again, I want you to start by reading the assigned chapter on what an evaluative essay means, but essentially think review. So a movie review, a book review, a review of a cultural phenomenon, your perspective supported by reliable research. But you can start out with, what you think about something. Pick something that you're probably already familiar with, and then you're going to essentially write a 500 to 700 word essay with supporting scholarly research on your chosen topic. So start by doing this. Read the description. There's a detailed description of this assignment on Canvas. Read that carefully, put it aside, then go back and read it again. I'm often surprised when I get assignments turned in that it's clear that some students didn't actually read the description of the assignment. So please start there. It'll take you 5 minutes, but it will determine your whole approach to the assignment. So you're going to choose your topic, and then you're going to basically start with some kind of a preliminary judgment. Now, your judgment as you do research and as you consider it in more detail might change. That's okay. So let's say you're going to do a review of a movie that you like, or that you have recently seen, or that you saw forever ago. You're not going to just sit down and crank out, thoughts off the top of your head. Once you've chosen your topic, let's say you're going to talk about, it could be a cultural phenomenon, some sort of pop culture phenomenon, the expansion of, I don't know, podcasts, and what that says about culture. That's probably a really big topic that you want to save for a larger assignment. But at any rate, you can pick your topic, and then you're going to do some initial research. And I've got lessons and explanations on how to do research, what scholarly sources are. You're going to use at least 2 scholarly sources, by which I mean these are sources that are generally found in academic journals that have been peer-reviewed. So it's not going to be just a website. It's going to be something that is at a higher scholarly level. So you're going to do that initial work as you begin to prepare your draft that you'll turn in before you complete your final version. Now, this needs to be a fully realized draft, which I'll talk about in more detail here in just a moment. So once you've chosen your topic and you have a basic idea and you've begun to do your research, you're going to make sure that you complete the assigned reading in the textbook, and you've watched all of my videos. And then there are a couple of videos that are not ones that I specifically produced, but that are related to this assignment, and I want you to watch all of that stuff. It doesn't take that long. It may take you, I don't know, 45 minutes to go through all of that material, and then the additional time to do your reading. And then you're going to have found at least 2 scholarly sources. Again, I've talked about scholarly sources in other lessons. And you're going to write a 5-paragraph draft essay in MLA style. And I've got all of that information about what MLA is, and I've got links to Purdue OWL, which I plead with you to use. Purdue OWL is Purdue University's online writing lab, and it is just so spectacularly helpful on how to prepare a 5-paragraph, 500 to 700 word essay. Each paragraph has a purpose. There's an introduction with a thesis statement, on and on. It's all there. Make sure you spend the time, and then write your draft. Now, I do not use the term rough draft for this. It's a first draft. It's not rough. It should be basically fully realized. It should include a lot of the research that you're going to do. You're going to submit that, and then I'm going to turn around very quickly and give you some basic feedback on that first draft and give you some things to think about as you then complete the second draft. The second draft, or the final draft, the final version, is due the week after the draft. So probably you need to have this about 80% where you want it to be when you submit it. It's a draft for sure, but it needs to be a complete draft. And so prepare that after having done all of that initial foundational legwork, and then submit it. Okay, once you've submitted your draft and I've given you the feedback, it's going to be very general. I've got a lesson for you on Canvas about how I do initial feedback on drafts, so it's not going to identify all your errors and tell you how to fix them. That's not what this is about. It's going to give you some ideas to look at, to think about. And then you'll have a week left, and if you submit your draft early, I will respond to it early. And so if you want more time to finish that final version, submit your draft early. I encourage you to do that, and I'll turn that around early as well. At any rate, choose an artificial intelligence tool, a large language model tool. The one officially approved for use by CEI students is Copilot. Frankly, Copilot among the larger, more available large language models, AI models, is not the best, but it is provided by Microsoft, and Microsoft is the suite of applications that we use here at CEI. If you want to use another AI large language model such as ChatGPT, Perplexity, OpenAI, whatever, you may do that. Just understand that you may have to give it information about you. There may be parts of that process that you need to understand. So choose the AI model you want to use, and then you're going to have a conversation with that. The first thing probably to do is to just copy and paste your draft and start asking questions of AI. What do you think about this? Or what areas can I improve? Is it written clearly? Does it conform to the traditional 5-paragraph model? Decide on the prompts that you want to use as if you were sitting down with me or a tutor, and have it respond. Have it help you with the structure, organization, have it identify errors. Just use it as a tool to help improve and prepare your draft for final submission. Once your final version is done to your satisfaction, having done whatever engagement you're going to do with your chosen AI large language model, then you're going to separately write just a short memo. It needs to be that it's described in the description of the assignment, probably about 100 words or so. Maybe you can do a little less, but explain the steps that you followed to get assistance from the writing of your first draft, then engaging with AI. Walk me through how you went about that and what your experience was like. And you're also going to do a similar thing, and you can basically write that memo and then submit it as your initial post for a reflection and discussion board in that last week. So they can basically be the same thing. Write your memo explaining how you went about completing the assignment. If you want to just take that memo and copy and paste it as your post for the discussion board assignment, that's great. I mean, why not? And then by the end of that week, you're going to reply to at least 2 classmates. And we're going to have a conversation about your experience. You're going to reflect on how it went, things that your takeaways. Do you think AI helped you? Do you think it didn't help you? Did you find it more of a crutch than a tool? Just your personal thoughts based on your experience. You're going to reflect on that. The whole power of reflection is going to be part of the final essay for this class, in which you're going to be writing a reflective essay. So this is the beginning of kind of understanding how reflection can help you learn, particularly in a course of this type. So that's the process that you're going to follow to prepare your draft and your final version, with all the steps in between. If you run into questions, if you're not sure about something as you begin to prepare your draft or as you begin to complete the final version, drop me a note. I'm happy to have a conversation with you.